Okay. All right. I think we're good. All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the International Asexuality Conference 2023, hosted by Ace and Arrow Collective AU and also with Avon, and where Kerry and I are coming live to you from Sydney, Australia. So I am the person who's been behind the scenes coordinating everything, sending out emails about this, that, and the other, and on the forum. And Kerry is going to be doing the tech and the in person because unfortunately my partner Kate, who's also been helping us, she has come down with COVID, and so we're a little bit isolating because while I'm not sick myself, I don't really want to pass it on to the people in person. So I'll be doing a bit more behind the scenes stuff during the in-person stuff than I originally planned, but it is what it is. So if the schedule is a little bit different or something gets cancelled because of clashes and things like that, I'm really sorry. It's just been a little bit of chaos. But yeah, so we've got all of the channels and stuff set up on the server now. So it's on the International Asexual Conference server that's been used before for the UK Acecon and the previous International Ace Conference. So if you don't have those details, by all means, it'll get shared in the chat. And if you haven't received any details about how to access this, send an email to Asexuality Conference 2023 and we should be able to get through to you. Otherwise, you can email me at acearrowcollectiveau@gmail.com. And so then we will be able to go through and, pass that information on to you guys. And I'm just going to pass to Kerry for a second because I am needed. Give me one moment.
Okay, thanks, Gemma. Hi, everyone. My name is Kerry, and I'm part of the organizing team. I'm also one of Sydney World Pride's Rainbow Champions. The ACE representation on the for the main World Pride event. I'm really glad that we're able to advertise Acecon as part of Sydney World Pride's Pride Amplified program, meaning yes, we are officially part of it. As Gemma said, I'll be the host for the in-person portion of the event, and as much as I'm sad that she can't be there with us, I think it is the responsible thing to do for our community to avoid risking giving COVID to others. Behind me, this is an artwork from Deepa from Bangladesh. She had this printed out for her as part of the Sydney World Pride Human Rights Conference. But as you can see, this is a fairly large, unwieldy thing that she can't really take home with her. So I have it here with me. And please have a look.
Yeah, so Dipper had a installation in the activation space at the Human Rights Conference. And so this was part of that. And she had a whole bunch of artworks printed so that, and we had a lot of people come over and talk to both myself and Kate and Dipper about asexuality. And we gave a lot of the art away because Dipper couldn't carry it and Kate and I have some of it. So, and there may be some of it pop up during the rest of the conference. I've got this one here handy with me. So the other one of the things one of Dipper's art pieces. So yeah, so so many people came through and complimented her artwork and touched base with us about that. But one thing that I wanted to say that we missed at the beginning, and I'm really apologising for this, I would like to acknowledge the original custodians on the land that I live and work on, the Wallamedigal clan of the Darug Nation, and and I want to pay respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. And I want to acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded, and that this will always be, and this has always been, and will always be Aboriginal land. And I encourage any Australians who are in the chat to make their own acknowledgement of country if they would like to. And as I should have done this at the beginning, and I'm really sorry. It's just been very, very chaotic on this end of things. But it's for those that don't know anything about it. The acknowledgement of country is something that non-Indigenous Australians do to acknowledge the fact that this country has had its people, the First Nations people of Australia, have lived here for 65,000 years, the longest living culture that has existed on the world in the world, and that there have been many things since Australia since the British came to Australia in 1788 that have caused harm and damage to the Indigenous people that were here before they came, and they'll be here when we've gone. And we want to make sure as a country that we acknowledge what their connections to the land and the sea and their culture and their language. So this is one way that we can do that, by making an acknowledgement of country, to acknowledge these things and to accept that while we may personally not have done something, it is we have had privilege because of our history, and a privilege because of our own culture and the way that this country was colonized. So I just wanted to clarify that a little bit. So if you so none of the other panelists from other countries are on any that this is just an Australian based thing, unless they also want to acknowledge the First Nations people from their country.
Yeah, thanks, Gemma. Likewise, I would also like to acknowledge the Camarago people, the original custodians of the land on which I'm calling from. Sydney is a big place. There are multiple Indigenous nations. It's important to know, which one you're acknowledging. I've seen people get that wrong before. Yeah, that would be awkward. Yes, we really should have done that at the beginning. That's pretty disorganized of us. Yeah.
And I mean, it's important that it's very important that because we have been unable to have a First Nations elder do a welcome to country, which is the one that the Indigenous elders do to welcome us onto their land. And because we're doing this virtually, even though Kerry and I are both in Sydney, when we consulted with them, and they said that it was fine for us to do acknowledgement. If we had been doing it in person, like the whole conference, then we would need to have it would be better to have a welcome to country rather than acknowledgement to country. So as far as the conference is concerned, it might look a little bit different than the timetable that you might have seen is. And we, and as I said, very apologetic on that one. But we're going to be trying our best to do as many of the topics that we can, and hopefully you keep the thing flowing. So if there's a little bit disjointed like this morning and the starting of this, our apologies out to everyone, because I'm sure there are plenty of people from non-Australian places that are up at stupid o'clock to try and be part of this. So we really appreciate everybody for coming to the welcome, and also for being up at a weird hour for you, because a lot of the time us Aussies are the ones who were up at crazy
we normally on the receiving end of international online events, being during times where we would normally be sleeping. So here's our turn to do it back to everyone else. Ha ha.
It's our turn to put everyone else out, isn't it, Gary? So some of the people that have been helping behind the scenes are unable to be here. They're helping behind the scenes still. So we've got Marissa and Krista and Tildren and Mick, who have all been helping with the coordination while we've been busy with the Human Rights Conference. And I just wanted to say thank you to all of them for helping us make this happen. And I also wanted to thank all of our moderators and panelists and Discord discussion leaders. And there's so many to name, it'll take me quite a while. But they've all really stepped up when we've asked them to, and I really am thankful for all of their support and for all of their input for topics, and even for some that helped with topic content but are unable to attend. So we're really thankful that we were able to bring this together and have it for you guys. And I hope we do get some, because we are in the Pride Amplified book, and we have been to the Human Rights Conference. I'm really hoping that we will have some allos among us for some of the sections, because it would be really great. And that's one of the reasons the topics that are in person are that way. So we may get some allos attending. Sorry, excuse me. So that we can definitely not just be putting this out for the community, but also to show the community the asexual perspective on a lot of topics that we've got happening over the conference. I know that from Kate and I have just spent the last 2 or 3 weeks doing 2 very big conferences in this country, at Better Together, which is the national LGBTQIA plus conference, and also, as I said, the Human Rights Conference, which we've just finished up in the Sydney CBD. And I think that we've done some really good ACE advocacy with this. So we've made a lot of contacts with the bigger organisations, and also the people who organise Better Together, they are very, very keen to have asexual content on this. So we will be, the next Better Together conference, as that's our yearly national one, will be in Geelong next year. Sorry, this year. What am I saying? No, next year. My bad. Next year. In Geelong.
You just had this year's in Adelaide, right?
Yeah, we just had this year's in Adelaide in South Australia. And so next year's will be in Geelong in Victoria. And I really encourage any Aussie ACEs and international ACEs, if you can, attend. One of the good things about Better Together is that they do their damnedest to make it as financially accessible as possible. So there's scholarships. And if you when you apply for the scholarship, if you apply early enough, it costs you nothing to attend. And the man who leads it, Jason, he is what Kate calls a Labrador personality-wise. He is bouncy and happy, and he's one of the biggest ACE advocates we've found. So he has already said he wants to have an asexual person in the opening plenary, and he pointed at me. So this year we had Leanne Friday, my co-chair for Acecon. So next year there will be another ACE in the opening plenary, and it will be really great to have any ACEs that can attend this. As I said, it's our yearly national one. So I really want the asexual community in Australia to get behind it, because we had 4 different things in that conference that Kate just spoke at. And she was one of the people who had the most opportunities to speak out of everybody that attended and everybody that presented. And it was really amazing to have that platform. So I mean, there was stuff coming out from us about it. But yeah, so I really welcome everybody to the International Asexuality Conference 2023. And please let us know if anything we can do to help or support or give you contacts. And yeah,
the first session's about to start. So yes,
I'm so sorry.
First up we have Aero Aces as a Discord discussion, and a BIPOC Aces panel also live streaming on YouTube. So we'll see you there.
Yeah, we will see you there. And thank you for listening to me ramble. And again, I apologize for the changing up of things. But yeah, we will see you there. And tell your ACE friends, because it's got 2 days worth of stuff. All right, cheers. Bye.